Hey, what's up, Spatula Flip Virgin Gang? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Today's card just feel like showing off today is going to be Milotic V. This is a nice full art card. I really don't get the hate for a lot of the full art cards that came out in the Sword and Shield era. A lot of them do have really good colors, really good textures, really good backings. I understand they're not the most rare, most expensive card out there, but especially ones like this where like they made actual real strides for certain Pokemon. I just don't understand the hatred for it. It's a great card. It really is, and it's really not that much to pick up. You want some good looking stuff to put in your binder, I would recommend picking up some of this stuff. Which leads me in today's topic. There is no hotter take in the Pokemon community. There is literally no fucking hotter take in this place. Like, I could make any kind of video. I could trash anybody I want. I could do all this stuff. God help you if you say certain things about certain sets, though. People just tend to lose their mind and act like what they say about a set is the golden rule, the golden standard across the board when it comes to sets, especially with all the videos and fucking content people can make about this stuff nowadays. Like, it's just... You say something about a set and people don't like what you have to say. That's just it, man. That's all it takes for certain people. So I'm going to talk about Rebel Clash, okay? I don't think it's a bad set at all. I don't think it's the worst set in Sword and Shield, if I'm being 100%. I think that snugly belongs to Champion's Path, the set that does not even need to exist and should not exist. All those cards should have went into Darkness Ablaze or Shining Fates. It literally should have fattened up those sets, and if they wanted to do something else, they could have did something else. But no, we had to gut a set to do all that stuff, at least as a reason to exist. Rebel Clash, you talk to any person who collects Pokemon cards long term, you talk to anybody who's been around here for a little bit, and there's this just unanimous decision across like the Pokemon community that this is the worst set to come out in Sword and Shield. And I do think that it is noted that there was not any alternate art cards that came out this time. There wasn't any of those cards. It was just all shit full arts and rainbow rares according to people and all that stuff. Alternate arts did come out later on, year 2, in the introduction of battle styles going forward. There was alternate arts the year before when it came to the tag team alternate arts as well for the GX era. So Sword and Shield kind of got stuck kind of weirdly in the middle where it was like they kind of went back to the old standard format. They brought in rainbow rare trainers as well as hyper rare VMAX cards, which are the Gigantamax big cards and stuff like that. And I think Pokemon truly did think these were going to be bigger than they actually were. A lot of people just didn't care for them too much whenever they actually came out. The full art standard trainer, even though it is more common than the hyper rare rainbow version of that trainer, ended up being more expensive because people actually did like looking at the actual art of said trainer. A lot of people look back at these sets and they think they're trash. They think Vivid Voltage all the way back to Sword and Shield are just awful. You can make certain arguments on that stuff. I don't necessarily think it's fair to hold those cards that same standard as like battle styles and above, because if you put in alternate arts and illustration rares and shit like that, of course it's going to shine better. That's like taking any set like that and like holding it to the same standard as like base set or something like that, where all you got was standard hollows or things like that. Sure, people look back on those cards the same, but I mean, when it comes to actual artistic liberties that people were able to take and the overall appeal and look of said cards, it's just not the same fucking battle. And when you introduce those, I don't think you can, but even in that same year, I don't think Rebel Clash is the same. I think people just tell people that it's the worst set and it just kind of sticks around like that. Why do I think that? Okay. You're looking at the set. I got it pulled up right here. There's several cards you can pick from. A lot of people make the argument immediately there's nothing really good to pull from in here, and I just don't understand that argument whatsoever, because a lot of the Pokemon in here and a lot of things you can get, they genuinely do have appeal to what things people like. I don't fucking understand some of this stuff. Look, I get it. Some people don't like the actual Galarian starters. Some people don't like some of the Pokemon. Toxtricity is not one that people don't like. Dragapult's not one that people don't like. What always gets me about this, and I mean, there's lots of secrets in this set right here. I get the pull rate, but I mean, there's lots of shitty pull rates for lots of different sets, right? 151 has terrible pull rates, and yet people fucking clout that set to the goddamn heavens. There's a Giovanni card in here. There's Boss's Orders. This set is a player's paradise. This set was insane for people that played the game, and I just don't think people understand how crazy good that was at the time. And a lot of people who continue to perpetuate the Rebel Clash is just absolute garbage. I don't think y'all were here. I don't think you actually opened the set and pulled cards from it like people say they do, because a lot of the cards that were in this set were playable, and because some of them were, like Boss's Orders, Scoop Up Net, and fucking Tool Scrapper, these cards actually had value to them. You pulled these cards, they were worth like 30, 40, 50 bucks. Boss's Orders at one point, I swear, was like $100, $90, where if you pulled it, because it was in such high demand for the set before they just made Boss's Orders for every single boss, which I do like, but it does kind of take away from the actual rarity of said card. It's still Giovanni. There's still people that suck Giovanni's nutsack. And you mean to tell me a set that actually features a great Giovanni card, and it's just absolute trash. And you can still pick it up today. It still sells for about like 35, 40 bucks, man. That's really not that terrible for cards nowadays. Got characters like Sonya in here. Everybody's on that fucking waifu train all of a sudden. Right there, you got an adult. What, because she's an adult? For some of you fucks that she's not good enough for that stuff anymore? I mean, that's just the only waifus in my personal opinion. You got Sonya. You got stuff like that where the card was good. You got Tool Scrapper. You got Scoop Up. Now, I get these cards are cheap right now, which is beyond the point. But like I said, when these sets came out, they were not cheap. I mean, the fucking... I get it, okay? The rainbows, for some people, they just don't like them. And for the set, that was as good as a lot of it got. They're still like, it just kills me, man. Especially for some of the better Pokemon, like Cinderace, Dragapult. And then you had the fucking secret rare Pokemon right there. You had Frostmoth, you had the Berserker. There were things in there. And like, I swear to God, I swear, the Japanese versions of these definitely do the cards a lot more justice than the English ones too. I know the fucking actual quality for these cards weren't that great. I don't get it for some things. I think people just repeat something over and over again, and everyone's just like, that's just what it is now. That's just what it is. And I'll tell you this, the full arts and some of the cards, for all these people who like certain Pokemon, I just don't fucking believe y'all when you go through and just trash sets like this. It's got a Ninetales V full art in it. Ninetales, a lot of people's good, but oh, it's Kanto. It's a good. This is a beautiful Ninetales card, okay? This is a fantastic one. You can bring up cards like this, and the Milotic, and like Oleana. You can bring up stuff like Giovanni, and they're like, oh yeah, that's a really good card, but the set's just trash. Like, you can bring up certain examples where it's like Ninetales, Milotic, any of those, and the only argument people have to say is like, well, that's it. It's like, well, what are you chasing from other sets? What do people open up Vivid Voltage for? What do people open up any fucking set with alternate arts in it trying to get? They're trying to get alternate arts. Evolving Skies, you want 2 cards in that set. You want 2 cards in that whole fucking set, and that's what you're going for the entire fucking time. Yes, you can get some of the other evolutions, and that's okay too. Not for the prices those boxes you're going for, though. You want Rayquaza VMAX, you want Umbreon VMAX. I swear to God, man, money has really made people just super bleh about Pokemon cards. Everyone's like, oh, Pokemon cards isn't fun anymore. Dude, it's more fun now than it's been in a while. Everything is going down in price. More people are stepping into the hobby. More people are grabbing stuff up. More people are getting chances to get cards they had lost chances previously to before. People's overall, like, just morale towards Pokemon right now, like, I swear, it's only money people and content creators that are having issues with this shit right now. I'm having a blast. I'm picking up cards now that I was like, fuck, I didn't think I was going to be able to get that, because the shit has dropped. Japanese card prices have dropped a little bit. English card prices have dropped a little bit. And people are actually able to go open sets and not fucking have to worry about a $400 card day one. That's fucking trash, man. For a day one set, get out of here with that shit. And Rebel Clash, in my personal opinion, this is my hot take, it's not bad. It's not a bad set. It was great for players. It was fun to build decks, a lot of that stuff. Hell, even the playables had value back in the day for you money shitheads. It did. People have just told people for so long that Rebel Clash is bad that that's all they believe now. There's so many good cards, so many good looking cards in that set. And I have the complete set of Rebel Clash, Rebellion Clash, and VMAX Climax in Japanese. And I look at it, and I just don't get it. I don't fucking understand how people who love Pokemon cards so much just hate good cards and sets. You can have your opinions about stuff. You can have, but like I say, I always bring up Ninetales. I always bring up Milotic, Giovanni, Sonya, and then I'll bring up like, oh yeah, you had just a couple of the gold cards in there too. You had a couple of the trainers. Oleana's in that set. It's one of my favorite trainers. I think people are just stuck in their head that this set is bad because a lot of people have told them. It's like Steam Siege all over again. Not really even that bad of a set. Just people, for some reason, want to trash a set that, in my personal opinion, is leagues better. Leagues better than anything Charizard sits on, especially a set he doesn't belong in, like Champion's Path. That was literally made just to milk this place. That's all I got. Appreciate it, Virgins. Rebel Clash ain't that bad.